This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Corielli and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Pete and Sebastian Show. Bro, Sebastian Maniscalco, as always, on the other end. We are back. What is up, rock star? I've been dying to do this show. I'm fucking going out of my mind.
So let me set the table. First of all, I feel like we haven't done this in 8 weeks.
Me too. What's that about?
I don't know. Last time we did this, I was in Florida. I am now back in Los Angeles. I cut the trip short. Reason being is I have a gig that, it's funny. You want to work? Go out of town and you'll get work. Right?
Yeah, right? As soon as something comes, you make a plan, that's when you get it, right?
So I had to come back for that. Plus,
please, you probably were booking it when everyone was sleeping in your mother-in-law's basement on your phone going, come on, somebody give me something. I got to get out of here. What are you kidding, guy? A month at your mother-in-law's? I don't care if it was a castle in Scotland. I got a 3-day window max with my mother-in-law, and she's a nice lady, too. Your mother-in-law is fantastic, but, you know, virus, bro, it took a year away from us. Like, just put us in prison for a year. Oh. Fucking crazy. I mean, if I was in prison, I wouldn't even mind being in fucking prison for the past year. It's no different than us, except the ass part.
Oh, God.
So, what's the gig, man?
The gig is it's a public service announcement. I am going to act as a quote unquote Ryan Seacrest host to a music show that's going to be broadcast online. I'll tell you more about it when I can. So I'm doing that. I got to get this off my chest because I just read it and it was something that I thought was so unbelievable. And I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but George Clooney came out with an article in GQ magazine recently this week.
Can I say something before you even go any further with it? And I won't tip it away. Not only did I read it, I'm hoping that maybe you'll do that someday. But once you had the kids, I'm like, he's got the 2 kids now. It's money out of their pockets. That ship sailed.
Okay, so I didn't read the article. I read an article that was basically give me a synopsis of the GQ article. And if you haven't read it out there, people, one thing they cover is this story that's been like rumored for years that George Clooney gave 14 of his closest friends $1 million in cash one night at a dinner party. And his reasoning for that was because for 35 years, these guys have been extremely close to him, and he figured he wouldn't be in the position he was in if he didn't have these 14 guys by his side. Now, the challenge to get 14 million cash was he had to go downtown, I think it was downtown Los Angeles, and go to a warehouse. And maybe you could speak to this more than I can.
No, I read the synopsis like you. This is fascinating. Oh, okay. I didn't even read this part, what you're telling me.
He had to go down to a place in downtown LA where they sell cash by the pallet.
Holy shit. What a world.
So it's like you can't just go to the bank and go, give me 14 mil. I'll meet you out back with a truck. You got to go down to this, like, I want to read more about what this is. I don't know if you need 14 million cash, you pay 14.5 and they come out with a forklift and put it on the truck for you. I don't know how that works, right?
Is the idea of giving them cash too, is that like some way of saying, quote unquote, launder this money, meaning don't tell the government about it, and just over the course of your life, whenever you're going to pay for something, for this and that, use this cash because I don't want you to get taxed on it. Was that the purpose of
No, I don't know the ins and outs of taxes on this cash or why he did it in cash. I'm assuming, it would fall under the umbrella as a gift. I don't know what
That's the umbrella would fall under if it was raining on me. And let me tell you the other thing. Apparently, the suitcases he gave them each to put the cash in, that would have been the best gift I've ever gotten, aside from the shit you guys get me for Christmas every year. And that's just empty, I'm saying. I don't even need the 14 mil. I mean, the mil.
He gave the cash in Toomey luggage, which is a very high-end luggage they go for, and I don't know. It was all $20 bills, which is another thing I have to investigate.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's his way of saying, nobody has to know about this money. You don't give people $1 million in $20 bills in a bag and say, don't forget to go to the bank and deposit it and call your IRS. Boom. Wow.
But I thought that was the classiest thing about it is he gave it in high-end luggage, which he could have gave it in a sack or a hefty bag or what have you. These guys are not only going with a cool million, they could pack for a vacation.
Unbelievable. You imagine going home with your wife going, holy shit, baby, look at this. Man.
But I gotta ask, how much money do you have in the bank where you could give away $14 million and that have no bearing on your lifestyle?
I know, right? I mean, to never be in a position where you're like, boy, if I had that 14 million, I would blah, blah, blah right now, right? And that, they said, was before he sold his tequila company for $1 billion.
That's another thing. I was like, he did this in 2013, right before or on the day that his movie premiered. I think it was called Gravity, which I think he had a real sweet deal with Sandra Bullock on that. But my God, I mean, to be invited to a dinner party, to sit down, and then luggage start being passed out, and you're like, what's going on? And everybody opens up their suitcase and they got a cool $1 million cash. I don't think you could. I've never heard of it like that. That's like a Frank Sinatra story times 10.
Yeah, it is. And do you think any of those people were reluctant at first? Like, no, I couldn't. I don't need it. I couldn't. Or you think they were all like, wow, thanks. I wonder. I don't even are any of them famous, or they just, we don't know who it is?
I don't know who these people are. I'm sure if you did some deep internet search, you could maybe pick a few off, but, yeah, I just thought that was a great story, and I wanted to start the cast off with that. But getting back on track here with what's going on, I got to tell you a few things I did in Naples, Florida, which I found. I became an outdoorsman.
In Naples? Wow, really? What do you mean?
I started fishing. And
really?
Well, it's funny. You have kids, and then you start trying to figure out activities to do with them, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it could get stale doing the same thing. You're like, you know what? Let's go fishing. So I didn't have any bait, and I wanted to ask you this, and I don't know if you have any fishing experience.
Right.
I know you said you've gone, but I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't have any, man. I'm very little. Once a year, maybe.
Okay. Well, it's more than I've done. So you're at your house.
Yeah.
Your daughter wants to go fishing. Let's say you got a pond in the back, and in my case, it's a bay. What do you use for bait? If you don't have a bait shop nearby, just general things you might have in your cupboard and or refrigerator. What do you think fish eat that are household items?
I fished when I was a kid, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, you might be able to get them with a little bread rolled up into a ball. I'm not kidding, man. I thought at a resort, get yourself a nice Italian fish that way. That's what you get with that fucking thing. Dude, I was always a worm guy. You dig up the worms before you go, man. So out of the house, I don't know what little meat. I don't know. Oh, chicken. No?
Well, here's some of the things I found that are good for bait. Hot dogs.
Oh, really? Wait, you just winging this, and you just said, "Let me try a hot dog," or like someone tell you to?
Internet.
Ah.
I googled that shit. Hot dogs came up. cheese.
Oh, really?
And what I used cured salami. Now,
you gotta think you're gonna catch a classier fish with the cured salami than some fucking white trash trout eating hot dog meat. Bro, shoot me in the head. I mean, come on, fucking pandemic. You're fishing for fish in Naples with hot dogs? God, rough times, rough times.
Listen.
At least you with the kids, though.
I didn't take the hot dogs. I went the cured meat route.
Oh, you didn't do hot dogs at
I'm
all?
giving you examples of what you could use, but I went cured salami.
Now, I got to ask a quick question. Was there ever a moment where you're putting a little cured salami on the hook and you're like, little for the fish, little for the big guy, and pops them in your mouth?
Put it this way, I had to stop myself because if I kept going, there was going to be no bait left.
Bro, I do that with Brent when I feed the duck. Sadie looks back. She's like, Dad, what the fuck? Well, not what the fuck, but oh, shit. You got to go with hot dogs, and I got to use Wonder Bread with the ducks for that one.
What's fucked up right now?
I'm feeling you forgot to hit record on something by the way you're looking.
I forgot the earbud.
Oh, shit. So this is just blasted through your shit right now. Oh, God.
Hold on. Holy shit, we need a studio.
Oh, bro, don't feel bad. I've been doing a sound check since noon. You would think I was about to play with Van Halen in this little fucking studio below my stairs. By the way, I had to abandon, I'll let you get the radon thing. That studio I made down there, it's like Chernobyl now, bro.
Hold on. What the hell happened in the basement?
Oh, well, I want to get back to the fishing, but the guy came, he did a full run downstairs, and I told you at the end of the last cast, he said that we're banging out at about 9.3 in the basement. He's like, I don't recommend you staying down there for long periods of time. He's like, if you want to do an hour a week, you can, but you got to open up all the windows down there. I go, guy, it's free. It's already 30 degrees. We have snow on the ground today. And he goes, well, you could do it there in the summertime. So, like, that's like my summer studio, I guess. So, I had to quick adjust when you called and said that we were going to start going video again, which I didn't think we were until after Thanksgiving. I went down there. I got all my stuff out in one day, and I set up. I got a great setup now up here, but down there, bro, it's abandoned. I'm not taking it down. Like I said, it's like Chernobyl down there. Then he did a run up here, and we're good to go, so the radon didn't leak through. And Jimmy from Boston left a message, oh, get a radon, whatever the fuck thing, and for $1,500. It's a pandemic, guy. You don't drop cash you don't need to. Everybody suck it up with the radon. We're fine. So that's that. That's that. Did you catch any fish that you could eat, man? By the way, my new setup is the best ever. I'll send you a photo. It's like magical. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier, bro. I'm so loving my space. So what did you catch?
So I'm rolling salami on the hook, right?
Love it, bro. It's hilarious.
And I don't have the type of pole where it's one of those like kind of quick action where you click it this way, click it that way. It's like the rod is it's in the spool is in a casing. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
not high tech.
Right, but you feel a tug and you still want to wind, give it a jerk and wind it, right?
Yeah. But it's not like, I'm casting 100 yards. I'm casting about 20 yards, and that's it.
Okay, of course you are. What do you think I think you're doing? Like, telling them to start the engine and let the fish run? We're going to tire it out?
So I throw this thing out.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the line, I have no weight on it. Remember, and this is from a kid. Remember you put the line through like these little metal balls, and then you hammer the balls on the line. And
yeah,
then
your sinker. That's your sinker.
Your sinker. And then you got a bobber. Right. I got a hook and salami.
Oh, what are you, fly fishing? Like redfin and a river runs through it? I mean, that's like, you need all that stuff. You need the sinker to make all the shit go down, and you need the float to let you know you got a bite.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're doing. You're doing some Indian primitive fishing here, guy.
So
By the way, isn't it funny that you're fishing for a meat that's like less delicious than the one on the fucking hook? Let's take good shit and catch bad shit. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh god. So I'm throwing it out there, and then I'm kind of reeling it in and whatnot, and I'm doing a test before I bring down Serafina, because I don't want her to sit through the mistakes and this and that. You know, kids, they want to see action.
What a parent doing a dry run. Even with a new toy on Christmas, learn from this, parents. Put it together, try it out, then call the kid over. Otherwise, you'll lose them. The minute you pull out the directions, they're like, fucking, call me when it's ready. I'm with you.
Oh, so I do it, I bring it in, I do it, I bring it in. I do it about 3 or 4 times. Now, I don't know if you can remember, but you ever bring up the bait, whatever you're using, whatever's on the hook, and you look at it and it's like, it's really getting wet, right? Like, and then you start to think, is this still smell, or did it come off?
What? Like, why? Is it the smell on the meat that attracts the fish?
Well, I mean, I would assume that there's some smell involved. I mean, you put a little salami down there, like you said. I felt this, let's say a school of fish were swimming, right?
Yeah.
And I dropped in the line, and it was behind the school.
Right.
A couple guys in the school would go, the fuck?
Do you smell something exceptionally delicious in the water right now?
I don't know.
I don't know if you're doing a bit, or if I don't know about fishing. Because I thought you just have to be dangling meat in the fish's like it's a car that's driving, and you got to dangle the meat. If it's over the windshield, he'll bite at it. I didn't know that. I didn't think anyone smells anything underwater.
Okay, I have to talk to a fisherman on this, but I was under the assumption if they were swimming and smelt some salami somewhere nearby, that they would tap each other and go, I don't know about you, but I got a sudden taste for a Cabernet, you know.
So now you got the salami hanging. You're wondering if the smell is dying after it dangles too long. This is all right. So what?
Okay. So I ain't catching nothing with this salami. I don't even bring Serafina down. Second day, I wake up early. There's a bait shop within walking distance. I go to the bait shop. I get a dozen live shrimp.
Can we
Bring
discuss,
it back.
Can we discuss the element in your average bait shop, by the way? Holy shit. Shower once a month, if possible, some of these dudes, right? Jesus. Yeah, you ever get the feeling there's a difference between fishing for fun and fishing for dinner. You know? Fuck. I'm going to be like, what fucking highway are you going to be dangling that rod over into some shit canal, guy?
There's 2 types of people. There's like the recreational fisher that's bringing in their son, and then there's the guy you're talking about who, if he don't catch something, he might die. Right?
Exactly. You ever see a starving fisherman? Oh, it's a totally different ball game. Oh, you're going home. They got that bucket. They need 3 more before they can come home. I know what you're saying. All right. So anyway, you should have went there in the first place, man. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
I should have. I was unaware it was that close. I went over there. I picked up some shrimp. I brought them back. So I put the shrimp in. Now, I didn't look at Google. I didn't look at the internet. I just basically went in to grab the shrimp, and they're tough to catch, you know. They're all over the place, but I get one. I hook it. It's live. I throw it in. And
Live.
yeah, they're alive because when they're alive, they swim. So it attracts.
I don't think I've ever seen a live shrimp, man.
Yeah. So they're swimming.
kinda-
They're moving. They're moving. They're attracting a lot of attention, right?
Yeah.
So I get a nibble, and then boom, stolen. They stole it.
You got to know when
do
to
the-
jerk, man. You got to know when you feel that nibble, you got to give it jerk, man.
All right. Well, I did 3 more times.
Yeah.
I did the jerk. They're stealing the shrimp. So then I go online and I look, I go, maybe I'm baiting the damn thing wrong, right?
Yeah.
So what they told me to do on this one video is take the hook and slightly put it right under the spine. Because I had the hook embedded. Here's my thought process. I had the hook embedded in the fish. You couldn't even see the hook. It was like a landmine, I was thinking, for the fish. So if they saw the shrimp, they'd get it. But right when they bit it, they would go, what is it, a hook? Like right?
The technique. I'm loving the technique. Makes total sense, man. Yeah, right? You know what? I love it. So and the shrimp is staying alive during this process?
Yeah.
All right.
So, boom. It's on the 5th shrimp. I got something, and I don't know if I got a hold of a marlin or a shark, but this thing's giving me a fight.
That's the beauty of fishing in Florida. You know you might be catching something worthy of the wall. You know?
Now, mind you, I got a pole that I would assume if you get anything more than 10, 15 pounds on this, they're taking the pole with them, right? This thing ain't.
Right.
Got a lot of strength. So I bring the damn thing up, and I call Serafina's upstairs. I call Lana. I said, tell Serafina, come down. I got a fish. So I got this fish, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It looks like a baby shark. It's about this big. It's about 7 or 8 inches long.
Nice.
And I tell Serafina she wants to pet it, so she pets the fish. I then take the fish, and I had a scissors. I popped out the hook, and I let it go.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, I get another fish. It's a sheep's head. I find out that this is a sheep's head
Yeah.
fish.
You're
and
on
this
fire.
thing, I'm on fire. I take a video, and I show my buddy. He goes, yeah, it's a sheep's head. Throw it back in. And then Lana and Serafina are there, and Lana is basically taking the fun out of fishing. She's like, put it back in. It's going to die. Its eyes.
Right.
Its eyes are... Now, I can't get the hook out of this thing, right?
Do you have any idea of the time limit? Like, how long can you hold one of these fish before it dies?
I don't know, but I'm looking at it, and I could tell it's like, it's giving me some gasps.
Oh.
And this hook is in there. And I don't even have the right equipment to pull it out. So Serafina's like, Daddy, it's gonna die.
Oh.
So I cut the line, and I threw it back in with the hook in its mouth. Now,
Just killed it. Just took a little longer, guy.
here's the question.
All right.
Do you think this thing goes back to the school he was hanging out with, right? And they look at him and go, fuck happened to you? And he goes, don't go near that dock. There's some fucking there's some idiot with his family up there.
I don't know. I feel like some other fisherman's going to catch that fish a few days from now and be like, Jesus Christ, what kind of animal would just cut the line and let this poor bastard swim around like this?
It was either
Snowbird.
it was either I cut the line,
What?
or it was either I cut the line, or the thing was gonna die on the dock.
Why did you dunk the whole thing back in the water and just like regroup? Like let it swim with the hook on the line while you Google how to do it, then pull it back up for round 2.
Listen, I didn't have that type of time. I got the kid there. What am I gonna do? Put the fucking pole in the water? Hey, how long could a fish swim around with a hook hanging out of its mouth? What kills the fish? The hook or being outside the water? Yeah, no, being outside the water. But I don't know. But it seems awfully quick. I don't know if maybe your fish might have been dying from Lana. You know, he was just hearing her chirping. It freaked him out. Maybe he was like, I thought I had a little more time, but she's got me thinking I'm going any fucking second here. I thought it was like 20 minutes, man. Anyway, hopefully somebody. If it was 20 minutes, then I had at least another 15 to go. I'm thinking this thing coming out of the water. I'm thinking, how long could it last on land? Right. So. Anyway, there's a fish out in Naples swimming around with a hook hanging out of the left cheek. But I tell you, I had a great time, and we then went the next day on a boat to Marco Island, where we did some serious fishing. Oh wow! Right? Yeah. So much so where we were fishing for bait, which I've never done. The guy's a professional fisherman. He goes, "We're gonna fish for bait." I go, "Oh, don't you got like a bucket of?" No. Drop this hook down. It's got 5 hooks on it. Soon as you drop it, it hits the floor. 5 fish, boom, all over this line. No live bait, no nothing. They're just in on the hooks. You bring it up, you get a variety of different bait on it. We're talking like fish, like this big, right? Yeah. So the guy hooks not a live bait. He's got a fish about 4 inches long. It's a fake lure. It's a fake fish. Okay. He throws it out there. Yeah. About 2 minutes in, something comes by and rips this thing off the hook. Gone. And he goes, "Oh my God, that was a $10 lure, right?" Oh, yeah, he throws another one. He had another little fish, fake fish. He throws that. They ripped that off. Oh, that's $4. I'm thinking to myself, is this guy complaining that he's losing lures because he's going to tag our bill for the lost shit he's losing? Yeah. What's it? I know. I don't know. It sounds a lot like that, you know? This guy's tagging everything he loses with a price on it. By the end of this, I'm tallying up. I go, this guy's $78 down. There's a shark out there filled with plastic fake fish right now. I thought you were going to tell me that when it ate the first plastic thing, when you said, he said, "Oh, that was $10." I thought he was going to do like a Roy Scheider sort of like, "I've never had one of them bite right through one of these things," you know? Like, I thought you were going to tell me, this is getting... Did he even think, like, did he say, "Oh, it was probably a small shark or a swordfish"? All right, keep going, because I hope you caught something big at the end of this. We're fishing for mackerel, right? And apparently these mackerels got large teeth and sharp teeth. So anyway, we reel in what is reminiscent of what I caught the previous day, like a baby shark, but this thing's bigger. And he goes, "Oh, catfish." He goes, "We got to get rid of this thing." I go, "Why?" He goes, "These things, they're bait stealers, number one. And number two, see this? And they got, like, on the side, they got these, like, almost like pitchforks that if they sting you, they got a little poison in there and you're at the hospital, right?" Jesus. And it's got one coming out of its neck, too. So it's got 3 of these prongs coming out of it. And I go, "Really?" I go, "I caught one of these yesterday." And I had my daughter pet the damn thing. What the fuck, dude? It was the same fish? Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm taking the hook out of it, and I got my hands all over this thing. He goes, shit, you're lucky you didn't get stung with one of these prongs. That would have been the end of it. You would have been in the hospital. I go, oh, God. So anyway, we catch something. Now,
Oh, my God.
I get something on the line, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're fishing with a guy who knows how to fish
Yeah.
and you don't, you literally feel like a pussy. I'm sorry.
Why?
It's-
I like fishing with someone who fishes and I don't, because they save me a lot of time and hassle with like what to use.
I know.
And when my line gets tangled, I always gotta. Is that what you're gonna?
No. How they look at us. Like this guy, like I'm reeling it in. He's like, no, go up, reel down, go up, and I just don't feel like I look good. Like if there was video of me catching the fish, I feel like I would look like I had a hook in my mouth, right?
Right. You're not a fisherman, bro. It's a tricky thing. I saw a commercial the other day where the guy's fishing, and I look at Jackie, and I'm like, man, it's just some things like cars and fishing and man caves that I just never got into like other men did.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who fishes like on his lunch break. He's a dentist. He fishes on his lunch break, and he thinks anyone who uses a boat for anything other than to fish is a pussy. Whatever, right? And I'm like, whatever with you when you're fishing. Yeah, really, yeah. It's fun. But, dude, when you catch that fish, when you hook something, that is excitement at a top level. I don't care if it's a sunfish or a baby shark. It's so exciting. It's like a little prize on the end. I don't know what it is till you get it out of the water. What is it? Oh, shit.
I totally agree with you. There's an exhilaration that goes through your body.
Yeah.
And I'm reeling this thing in. And I had to put the pole in my thigh.
God, it's awesome. It's exciting, right? Holy shit. Makes you think, what the fuck do I got? Right? Look at me. I need gloves. I don't want to say it out loud, but I need gloves, man. Right?
I pull this thing up, and the size of the fish did not match the level of exertion I was giving.
It never does. It's the weirdest shit, right?
I'm thinking they're gonna like pull up one of those where they gotta pull it up on the boat with chains.
Yeah.
And I take the picture next to it, and I'm like half the size, right?
I say, are you doing that where it's so big that you're giving instructions before it's even out of the water? Get the net! Get the net! Get the net! The pole! Was there a moment you thought the pole might break? That's when you know you're like, oh yeah.
Bro.
Oh, man. Shit, right? It must be the density of the water pulling the shit out of the water. I don't know. At least when you fish in the East Coast, you don't even know if it's an actual fish. You know what I'm saying? When I grew up, you're like, hey, listen, fingers crossed, still could be a boot.
Oh, man. So I pull this thing out. It's a mackerel. And here's another thing I noticed. Guys who do concrete, do fishing, hunting, they got a different like nail bed. If you ever look at their hands, and this guy's touching the hook and the fish, you could tell it's like the nails are almost like they're gonna fall off. They're really cut. They're the short, type of guy that doesn't really use a nail clipper to shape the. There's a way to clip your nails where you make it round. You do it in like threes. I feel like this guy takes a toenail clipper to his hands. One of those guys.
Yeah.
One and done, like tush, tush, tush.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't even know if they use a toenail clipper. This is the kind of guy that just chews his fingernails while he's gassing up the boat, man. No, I mean, fuck. I can't even believe you think he's got a toenail clipper. I know the hands too. My father-in-law has those steel plant weathered hands, the kind of hands that I feel like they're like fireproof. You could put a lighter over those fucking hands, and they wouldn't even know it unless you told them. You know. Just a man's hand. Kind of hand, if that hand was on a woman's back, she'd know instantly it's a man's hand. With me, she'd still be like, is that a girlfriend of mine or Pete? You know? Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
You're your own kind of man, guy.
All right, listen.
Fucking olive tree haircuts. I'm serious, man. That's it's your own version.
I had a blast doing this. I want to get my own fishing rod, my own tackle box.
Oh, shit. Where's that going to go? Next to the Agassi book?
Oh, God. Are we getting it?
Well, where you gonna fish in L.A.?
I don't know. I gotta find somewhere. I gotta go out on a boat. Just have a guy take us out on a boat. The next time we do anything like that, we'll definitely get a guy to teach us. But had a good time.
That's good.
in Florida. I've been talking your ear off. What do you got?
Nah, man, go ahead. I got this and that. Doesn't matter. We're having a good time. What, you got some?
No, I just needed to collect my thoughts here.
Okay.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking? An espresso?
I switched over to espresso from the machine you got me. I had Jackie buy me espressos. Level 11, high caffeine level. But this is nice. Couple sips, and I've been doing those now. So they knocked me out early, though. I was up, by the way, 2 days ago. Pulled a Pete at the post office yesterday. I want to fill you in on that. But 2 days ago, these two older ladies, they go, you know how older women especially like to walk in the morning. They're all walking. Yeah. They're all walking all over the place. So they walk by every morning at 6 a.m, and they two cackling hyenas. They talk so loud, even with my windows down, I can hear their conversation. And it wakes me up every morning at 6 a.m., Just like, when you hear that, like, women walking and talking, like, so what did Bill say? Well, I told him, if he wants me to go with him Wednesday, and you're like, what the, So, 2 days ago, I hopped out of bed, and I go, what the fuck? And I go over to the window, and then Jackie gets up, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I got to tell these ladies, I'm going to not yell, what the F, but I'm going to say, ladies, can you politely, can you keep it down when you walk by? So she said that you can't tell people not to talk loud. So bailed on that. But is that out of line to just say, excuse me, ladies, when you walk past at 6 a.m., can you try not to, can you keep it down? We're all trying to sleep here. Or you think if you were that person, would you be like, I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm not.
Well, I'll tell you. Excuse me. Those women would not get it because they're unaware of the volume in which they're talking at. So that would be to them as threatening and something that would not be in their realm of thought that you would just come out. People who don't talk loud never get scolded, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right. They don't.
So they'll take it. Yeah, listen, these women, I'm assuming, and I don't know them from Adam, but I'm assuming are a problem in life.
Well, what do you mean, man? What do you mean a problem in life? They're pleasant ladies walking by. That's why I'm torn. I just, if I say something too, all I'm going to be, to your point, is just that they're going to say that's the guy. There's an asshole that lives there. That's all they're going to think every morning when they walk by.
It's the same person who's FaceTiming on a call at the Starbucks or in public, where you're not only hearing their conversation, but you're hearing the other person's conversation through the phone. It's that type of inconsiderate behavior, and I'd line this up with that type of behavior where you're talking at a volume in which it's, penetrating a home and waking up the residents?
That's it. I'm telling you, my daughter said she heard it. I don't know. What's the rule? Sunrise, we can all talk at any volume we want? Is it sunrise or is it like, I figure, 8:30, 8 o'clock? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what the volume rule is on a walk through a neighborhood. I would just think it would be conversational. But if you're upping it to a high, yell, I think those people need to be told.
They're cackling old ladies, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they mean no harm. That's why I pulled back. Luckily, yesterday it snowed, so they weren't out. I'm thinking they got a temperature level where they decide not to walk. So I might be dodging this now until spring anyway. But which leads me, I have another quick thing to ask you. We had major windstorm and snow yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm sorry. And there's a couple of trees on my front lawn, but they're not on my front lawn. They're on the other side of the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like the town lands, as you say, and giant limbs fell again. Those trees are dead. And I've asked like 2 times for these guys over the past year and a half to come cut them. And they kind of go, all right, I'll tell the boss. So I'm telling Jackie tomorrow, I didn't want to call him right away because I know they're cleaning up a lot of shit from the storm. I'm going to call and I go, and when I get the guy, whoever answers, I'm going to say, hi, before we get started, my name is Pete Corielli. I just want to let you know I'm recording this conversation because I've called you guys 3 times and nothing gets done. So just from my end, who am I speaking with? And he'll say his name. I go, I just want you to know I'm recording this conversation legally. I have to tell you that. Anyway, guys, I got this trees and and then go into my thing. But I feel like if I tell him I'm recording the conversation, when I'm done, he'll go off and go, boss, get the chainsaw. He's recording us, man. We got to go do this one. Or Jackie's going the other route, telling me he's going to think I'm an asshole, and then she doesn't want me to do anything to anybody because she says that, they'll think I'm an asshole, and then they won't come do the tree. If I yell at the ladies, they'll think I'm an asshole when they walk by the house.
Yeah, with this one, I feel like if you say you're recording the conversation, you're not going to get the type of genuine response that you would normally get if you called and say, hey, can you come cut my tree? And they'll go, yeah, we'll get to it. But all of a sudden you say, I'm recording it. They're like, oh, well, Mr. There's a lot going on, and we'll get to it when we get to it. And I feel like I know you have to do it for legal purposes, but what about going on the like when people go in with a wire and they're working for the FBI?
Yeah,
that's okay to record.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying to get you doing illegal activity, but I think if you want to use a conversation, my point of recording is that if he says like what you said, if he politely goes, well, we'll get to it when we can, sir. I'm like, okay, no, I just want to record this so that I know when a limb falls and hurts me or someone walking by that we have a recording of when I called you. So that's why. But I'm not recording, guy. I don't even know how to record on my phone. I don't even know how to do that, but so I'm not. But just light the fire. But I feel like to say that up front, oh man, it'll be so awkward to then go into my problem,
Well, you'd have to just plow through it. I mean, you can't even think about it.
Just plow through it. Don't even wait for him to okay the recording. Just go, just want you to know I'm recording this. Anyway, there's a tree on my property, too. He'll be like, guy, what the fuck? I rake leaves. You coming at me with all this shit? Holy, hold on a sec. Yeah, so that's the plan there. That's the plan there.
So what's your take here on what's going on with COVID? We're going backwards, bro. I want to talk to you about the distribution of the vaccine, right?
Okay, right.
Now, do you think this is going to be something where you're dying to get this vaccine, but they're giving it to people like old people, frontline workers, da 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 da. Do you think this is going to be something where it's almost like cocaine or drugs, where you're talking to somebody, you're like, can't get the vaccine, and the guy's gonna go, I got 30 vials in the car. Do you think there's gonna be a black market for the vaccine?
Well, I do. The one is going to be tough because you need dry ice, but the other one apparently is going to be able. But the one with dry ice can be go without ice for like 5 days. So, I'm sorry, but if I was one of the scientists making the vaccine, like packaging it, you look the other way. I'm taking 10 vials, bringing them home. Can you imagine right before Christmas to all your family? And they would have trouble getting it, and then they all open up. What do we get? Oh, I think we all got Christmas ornaments. We all have little boxes. Let's open them at the same time. Vaccine for the whole family. Merry Christmas from Uncle Petey. Can you imagine that, dude?
Oh, my God. I tell you, I don't know why they picked the vaccine that they got to store at 90 below zero. In the manufacturing of this, didn't someone go, hey, listen, why does it got to be so cold?
I know. I mean, that's a big but, like it works, but shit. 90.
It works, but you got to go buy a $50,000 freezer to store the damn thing.
It's like you got to go to what's that Ozark Steaks? What's that steak place that you can buy the steaks online? They send them in the dry ice.
Omaha
Steaks. They'll walk you through how to do it, bro. This is almost as bad as when they first came up with Ben Gay, and the guy's like, "But that smell? Yeah, no, that's." If we could get that out, we would.
I don't know. I feel if Ben Gay didn't have the smell, I don't think it. I feel like it's not working.
I hear you, man. Right? Because with the smell, you don't put that in there as like a little icing on the cake. It's got to be what's working because it's fucking disgusting, and you wouldn't have it in there otherwise. I'm right there with you, man.
It's not like perfume where they said, "Hey, Johnny, throw a little of that stench in here."
So, if these two, I gotta tell you though, if these two vaccines come out at the same time, the one that needs dry ice and the one that doesn't, I'm feeling like you open up that cooler and that dry ice fog comes out, and then you see a vial laying on the bag. I just feel like that's working better than the store fucking room temp one. Don't you? Yeah.
Oh God, I feel if I'm
gonna have nuts. Sorry.
I'd feel a lot more comfortable if my doctor came back into the room with frostbite on his face to administer the vaccine.
Absolutely. Anything looks more important when it's got to be in dry ice. Oh, God. He's got frostbite. God. Holy shit. Can you imagine? What a dedicated doctor.
Oh God! So I don't know what to do, man. I'm just.
Are you taking it though when it comes out? That's the question.
I'd like to give it because I don't know what the sample size on this vaccine was to begin with, and I was talking to a doctor yesterday, and I'm like, how do they know if this vaccine works? Do they give people the virus and then give them the vaccine? Like, how do they do this?
Good question.
He goes, there's just a percentage of people that are getting the virus. So they do a sample size and say, all right, we're going to take 10,000 people that haven't had the virus yet. We're going to give them the vaccine. And out of those 10,000 people, our statistics show that 3% of them are going to get the virus. That's how they do the trial. So I don't know. Pfizer came out, they said 90% last week. Now, the other one, Moderna, came out this week. It said 95% on Monday. Pfizer came out today, Tuesday, it said, "Oh, ours is 95 too." So what did they're the first to come out and say 90. The competitor says 95, and they go, "Well, wait a minute, ours is 95 too."
Right. Oh man. Oh jeez.
Oh,
I said to
God.
Jackie, I mean, she like kind of went to school for that for years. She spinned blood in the lab at the hospital, so she knows a bit about like doling out the medicines and all that. And I go, so like when you make these vaccines, is it fair to say that you don't know how it's going to affect somebody 5 years down the line? And she's like, yeah, of course. So I said, well, then, there's no way how would these people, how would we know, And she said, though, she goes, but usually a vaccine, though, something like this, it's probably made with a lot of the same type of, for lack of a better word, ingredients that like other vaccines are made of, So you kind of know the body can handle these things. So I said, are you taking it? And Jackie's like, yeah, I'm taking it. And anyone who doesn't take it, stay in your fucking house, or I don't know what to tell you, man. All these people saying maybe I won't take it. Then beat it. Stay in, because we're going out. And that's my fear. It's going to come out. We're all going to take it. And then these granola, tree-hugging people are going to go, I don't know if it's safe. So now I'm going to have to keep wearing a mask for 5 years because of these, right? If we all take it and you don't, then, you're on your own, man. You're on your own.
Yeah, I would like to take this thing just so I could get back to normal life. This thing has gone way, way far beyond anything that I thought. I mean, it's almost the end of the year, bro. I remember sitting in this exact same chair on March 13th when this thing started, and I thought this was going to be like camp, 6-week camp. You go away, you come back, everything's up and running. We're coming into December, moving into another year, and they still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no. I read this great book once about, well, if I bore you with it, forget it. But it was, no, it was a really good book. It was about the Dust Bowl back in Oklahoma. There was a period where for like 10, 15 years, the ground just dried up, nothing but dust. And their farmers, I mean, like every day you'd wake up and there was sand dunes outside. There was no water, no nothing. And people were going crazy. And the dust would get into their homes, and the women especially were going crazy. They'd wake up, they'd take the broom, and they'd brush it all out. No sooner was it all out, and it would blow back in. And then they wake up the next day and go, today's the day. I'm going to fucking clean everything. We're going to seal the curtains. Boom, it's back in. And they'd go nuts. That's what we're doing. So now Trump didn't do it. Now Biden comes in. We're going to shut it down again. We're going to sweep it all out. We're going to get rid of it. And it ain't going to come back. That's what's going to happen. It's not. We just got to, get these vaccines going, get some dry ice, dole the shit out, and let's move on, baby, right? Did you see the president of Brazil? He called his whole country a bunch of pussies.
I know.
He did. He's like, we got to man up. I forget the term they use over there, but we got to stop being a bunch of pussies over here. We have to man up. People are going to die, but it's only going to be people that are vulnerable. And the whole country's like, yay, we think it's time for you to take a vacation, all right? Holy shit. I mean, what are you in a foxhole right now? What the fuck? Can someone get Patton away from the microphone, please? Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
So, did I tell you, by the way, the home I told you was bought next door, and they did the property check, right? Where they surveyed it. Now, nothing has come of that yet, but come to find out how, this is who moves in, because they just moved in, but this guy lives in Rochester. Him and his wife, they have a business flipping houses. Did I tell you this? So no. They bought this house, but they bought it in their son's name. Because in my town, a lot of people want to buy houses and rent them to the college kids. So the town put a cap on that. So you can't come here and buy a house and rent it out to college kids. No more of those. So you can only buy a house off of someone that's selling it that already has the permit to rent. So this guy buys a house in his son's name, who's a sophomore here. I guess his son wants to get into real estate someday anyway, so it'll help his portfolio. So now his son is going to live in this house with his with his boys, all of his friends from college. And they can do that because they're not renting because he owns it. The kid owns it. So the other day, a Ryder truck pulled up, five college dudes, 20 years old, all getting off. Now, at first, I give them credit. The first day, there was like tons of wood and brush in the backyard, like tons of it. And they just started at it, cleaning it up. And the father, my neighbor talked to the father, and he said, don't worry, my kid's really responsible. He knows the deal. And my neighbor told him, yeah, because this is a residential neighborhood, and my bedroom is right next to that house. If those guys have parties, I'm going to shut it down. And the guy's like, no, I totally get it. My kid's going to fix the house up. First day, they got this giant, all this brush, and I'm like thinking, what are they going to do with all that, man? So much. Dude, they started a bonfire, 5 dudes. This thing was licking the roof of my house. At one point, it was 20 feet high. I'm yelling at Jackie, do I call the cops? It's 20 feet high, right? Now, and they got so much wood. I'm like, there's no way you're going to burn that in the time you're hanging out. These dudes did shifts, 3-hour shifts through the night, like platoon, just fucking taking turns. Not even drinking, just one dude would come out and sit in a lawn chair and put his hands in the pockets of his sweatshirt with his hood up and just stare at the fire for like 3 hours. And then another dude would come out, my turn. I'm like, look at these fucking guys. Burnt it through the night. By the morning, the backyard looked like apocalypse now, bro. Just fucking smoking ash. Oh, I don't know what I'm dealing with next door. Oh, then there's a dirty black sock on the driveway. Who the fucking college kid drops his laundry on the driveway? Oh, God, here we go. Wait
a minute. I thought the people next door to you had a kid Sadie's age.
That's next door to the left. They're doing tons of renovation. They can't move in yet because they haven't gotten their appliances because thank you, China and the Wuhan special. You can't get appliances, so they come and they work on the house, though. They got the whole basement just redone, so that you could go down there and, apparently it's renovated. And I can't decide. I should probably tell her, did you get a radon check, right? I got to tell her that. But anyway, yeah, that kid comes, knocks on the door. That's already working out. The kid's in the house hanging out. But this one is right behind the fence, right behind
wait. Is this the guy that was looking at property lines?
Yeah. So I think I don't have to worry about that because if this kid, I already did the lean over the fence and introduce myself. Spence is his name. I don't know about that. Spence. Hopefully we don't have a problem. I don't know what to say. I'm like, it seems like you got some tools, but if you need anything like a ladder, just let me know. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. And he's like, thank you. So he's at it. We'll see how that plays out. He's got his buds living there, but as long as I got the kid next door, that's good. So that we got going. But yeah, and that's where I'm at right now, bro. I mean, Jackie ran 3,000 miles this year.
I saw that on Facebook or Instagram. I forget where I saw it. By the way, I don't have any of that anymore. I think Lana showed it. I took it all off the phone.
Nice, bro.
Quality of life has been unbelievable. I got a lot more time to do things I want to do.
Love it.
Spending time with the kids and it's not interrupted. It's fantastic. But 3,000 miles, bro. I mean, how many shoes do you go through for 3,000 miles?
Insane, man. We get more sneakers delivered than LeBron James. I'm serious. Just constantly sneakers. I'm telling you.
I mean, after one of her runs, does she just throw out a new pair? I mean, after
I think it's I don't know if it's 250 or 300 miles, they get tossed. Yeah, you know what I mean? But they're still in good shape to walk around and they're just worn out. By the way, I don't want to get too into it, but she runs with somebody, right? And one day recently they were running and Jackie wanted to do a few more miles and the other person said, can we stop? I'm really shot. So Jackie's like, all right, I want to make a certain amount, but sure. Later that night, that woman went out and ran again on her own, right? So me and Jackie are on the front lawn. Jack's telling me the story. And I go, oh, man, if that was my friend, I look at Jackie and I'd be like, what are you doing? Going out without me? I mean, that's bullshit. And I point at Jackie. And as I point to Jackie and say that's bullshit, this fucking 20-year-old dude who's making a right in front of my house, he pulls over, rolls down the window, goes, excuse me, sir, you don't talk to a lady like that. threw me so off. I turn around and go, it's my friend. What the I even say my wife. I go, it's my friend. And then he goes, I don't care who it is. You never talk to a lady like that. And then, like, it kicked in like this, and I start to step towards, but he'd already started driving away. And I turn around to Jackie. I go, what the fuck was that? And she goes, that was nice of him. I go, but I mean, it was way off, first of all. But
Oh, shit.
that was weird, man.
Oh, God. That's funny. Oh,
Anyway.
I got one for you.
Please.
So I had my dad here for 2.5 weeks, and, you know, we basically would sit down at the kitchen table, and we would talk and talk and talk, and, you know, it was all about, like, the talking, really, okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example of how it is with Lana's family, right? Lana's family, when you eat dinner there, right? As soon as you put the last piece of chicken in your mouth, they're cleaning up the table. Right?
All right.
So the time it takes to make the meal and break down the meal is longer than you actually sitting down and eating, right? So it's like it takes an hour to make, it's 7 minutes to eat, right. It's an hour to clean up, right?
Right.
And I'm telling Lana, I go, man, my family's so different. We'll literally like push the plate aside, right?
Yeah, I love that.
And we'll have dessert with like chicken fragments on the table.
I don't do that, but I used to love that when I was a kid. And like my dad's hands would be folded, talking to my grandfather with the dishes still on the table. Just we'll get to that. Just awesome.
Piled up, right?
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, she's wiping the table clean.
Oh man.
I'm still swallowing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And the dessert that comes out, like with ice cream in a little bowl, and nothing is on the table. And then, you know, everybody pitches in to clean up the table. You know, like one of these where you like, you take your plate, you scrape it off, you put it in the sink.
Yeah.
I grew up, my grandmother, you wouldn't lift a fucking finger in the house.
My grandfather too. Not only would he not help, he'd pick his teeth with a matchstick while she was cleaning the shit around them.
Here's my father told me that my grandfather, the way he was with my grandmother, talk about different times. He'd be in the garage. They had a detached garage, right?
Yeah.
So the house was up front, the garage is in the back. He's doing work in the garage. My grandmother's in the house. He would call my grandmother. Her name was Serafina.
Nice.
Fine, come get the hammer. He would call his wife from the house to get him a hammer in the garage when he's in the garage.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit.
Oh God, no! Just like when it comes to Italians and eating, it's like we'll eat like shit. I had lunch with my father here. We didn't get up from the table, and like we bled lunch into dinner.
Oh my god! Just bullshitting and hanging out.
Yeah,
that's
it
awesome.
was unbelievable.
That's awesome, man. Holy Italian.
Oh, at my wife's house, I feel like they got a stopwatch. Okay, go. Okay, it's time.
Oh shit! Are they at least taking it to another room to like have a night?
Another room. Good night. We're upstairs.
Oh man!
Oh,
God.
yeah.
I'm actually, because I obviously do dishes, you know what I mean? I see my father now and my father-in-law, they're at the age where they don't get up. And I'm like, when do you get to that age? I like that move, you know? But what I've been doing the past, I'd say about 2 months, now I don't cook anything, as you know. Jackie makes unbelievable food, bake. I mean, she's unbelievable. But we have dinner, you know, same time every night. And with the pandemic, I'm around. So sometimes I'm done doing what I'm doing and I got nothing left to do. So it's like 10 minutes till dinner. I'll sit at the table where we're eating dinner. I'll already take my seat, maybe look at my phone, watch her and talk to her while she's making it. And we've gotten into the habit over the past 2 months. I don't even get up. She makes my food, places it down in front of me. And I'm like, oh, this is so 1955. I love it. And then I'm like, thank you, baby. And then I look at my daughter and say, you don't eat till your mother sits down. You know, and I still got to clean up and do the dishes. But if I can get out of that back end, baby, ooh, that'll be like fucking World War II times.
Well, this is how times have changed, all right? In Naples, Florida, we went to, it's like a country club type pool. And I got Seraphine in the pool, and we knew some people there. We weren't meeting them there. They just happened to be there, and they're in the pool, right? So I'm looking around. There's 3 other guys that I know. And we are all with our daughters, and one guy's got a son. And we're holding our daughters, and I'm looking around, right? I look on the deck. The women are sitting down having rosé wine, and the men are in the pool. I turn around and go, what happened? I mean, if this 1950s, we would be up there smoking and drinking beer.
That's right.
And now we're fucking giving swim lessons.
It's reversed, man. Unbelievable. And
one guy goes, we got low testosterone. That's what it is. It's low T. You'll find, he goes, he's been a dad longer than I have. He goes, you'll find yourself doing low T activities the rest of your life, right? I mean, it's just no balls. No balls to say... No, like men in general have no balls or low testosterone to say anything like, hey, you know, we want to get in the fucking pool.
Oh, you mean to the wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's somehow that like it got to the point where they started talking up the ladies, and nobody put a stop to that, and now it's too late. You know,
it's too late. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the time in the pool, and I'll give you
around. Yeah, I know.
Kidding around, and I got to tell you this move I've never seen before. And one of the guys there, who I've known, is like Lana's girlfriend's husband.
Yeah,
great guy. Comes up to Seraphine. He's like, Seraphine, you want to see something? He takes out his retainer. Right, he's got a retainer in his mouth.
Yeah,
and that retainer has a tooth on it that keeps the tooth in place because somebody knocked his tooth out, so he's got no tooth there. So he takes out the retainer and he smiles. He got no tooth, but he's got his retainer in his mouth. I'm looking at the retainer. It's got like food on it, right?
yeah.
And then he puts it back in, and Seraphina's like, do it again. And he takes it back out. And I'm going like, I can't. There's nothing I got that even comes close to that move.
No, you can't top that, man. I mean, shit. How's that dangling bicep? Could you wiggle that in front of your kid for a little while? we need an update on that thing. That's your only hope.
I didn't have the camera last time.
Oh man, it's not.
Oh, but it's still a little screwed up, right? Still a little screwed up. You can see it there. I went to Ron, by the way, Dr. Ron in Naples.
Yeah.
Totally against your hip replacement. He goes, he might feel good now. 5-10 years, he's going to need another one.
Wow. Well, tell Dr. Ron I said appreciate that. Thanks. Tell him I said he's doing wonders with your bicep too, by the way. Good to be hanging again, bro.
Good to be hanging. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Pete and Sebastian Show. We will see you next week right here on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Please share it, and we will see you next week.